Blood and trumpets, the Siege of Chittorgarh. This was not just a battle. It was a clash of titans, a confrontation that would be etched into the annals of history forever. The air crackled with tension. Every corner of the fort was alive with the anticipation of the impending conflict. The Rajput warriors, with their fierce determination, knew that this was a fight for their honor, their land, and their very existence. The year was 1568, a year that would forever be remembered in the chronicles of Indian history. The sun beat down on the Rajput stronghold of Chittorgarh. Its ancient walls stood tall and proud, a testament to the resilience and strength of its defenders. High on the cliffs, Rajput warriors prepared for battle. Their armor gleamed in the sunlight, and their swords were sharpened to a deadly edge. They were ready to defend their home to the last breath. They were vastly outnumbered, but their courage burned bright. Each warrior's face was a portrait of resolve, a testament to their unyielding spirit. The Mughal Emperor Akbar led the enemy's charge. His ambition knew no bounds, and he desired this fortress, this symbol of Rajput pride, to cement his dominance. He desired this fortress, this symbol of Rajput pride. Cannons roared, the earth shook. The Mughal artillery unleashed a relentless barrage, shaking the very foundations of Chittorgarh. Rajput arrows rained down on the Mughal forces. The defenders fought with unmatched ferocity, their arrows finding their marks with deadly precision. But Akbar's army pressed forward. They were relentless. Days turned into weeks. The siege wore on. The Mughal forces, driven by their emperor's ambition, showed no signs of retreat. Inside the fort, supplies dwindled. Hope began to fade. The once plentiful storerooms were now nearly empty, and the defenders faced the grim reality of starvation. The Rajputs faced a terrible choice: surrender or death. The leaders gathered, their faces etched with worry, knowing that either decision would lead to devastating consequences. As night fell, the Rajput queen, Rani Padmini, took charge. She knew their fate. Surrender meant dishonor. Defeat meant certain death. Her voice, calm yet resolute, echoed through the fort as she addressed her people. So, she chose another path, a path of sacrifice. The women of Chittorgarh, led by their queen, prepared for an act of unparalleled bravery. As Akbar's forces watched in awe, the Rajput women, led by their queen, walked into a massive pyre. Their steps were steady, their faces serene as they chose death over dishonor. They chose death over dishonor. The flames rose high, consuming their bodies but not their spirits. The men donned saffron robes. These were the robes of martyrdom, a symbol of their readiness to die for their honor. They charged into battle, fighting with the fury of cornered tigers. Their roars echoed through the battlefield as they clashed with the Mughal forces. The Siege of Chittorgarh became a legend. It was a story of unparalleled bravery, of sacrifice, and of an unyielding spirit that refused to be broken. It was a testament to the Rajput spirit, a spirit that valued honor above life itself. This, my friends, is just one story from India's long and bloody history of warfare. A history filled with tales of valor, sacrifice, and an indomitable will to fight for what is right. Warriors of the Dharma, the Kshatriyas. From the dawn of Indian civilization, warfare was a way of life. The land was often embroiled in conflicts, and the need for a warrior class was paramount. This necessity gave rise to the Kshatriyas, a class of warriors who were not only skilled in combat, but also bound by a code of honor and duty. The ancient texts, the Vedas, speak of fierce battles and heroic warriors. These texts are not just religious scriptures, but also historical records that provide a glimpse into the lives of the Kshatriyas. They tell tales of valor, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of Dharma. These warriors belonged to a special class, the Kshatriyas. They were more than just fighters. They were the protectors of the realm, the upholders of justice, and the enforcers of the king's will. Their role was crucial in maintaining the social order and ensuring the safety of the kingdom. They were born to fight, to protect the weak and uphold righteousness. From a young age, Kshatriya children were trained in the art of war. They learned to wield weapons, ride horses, and master the strategies of battle. Their education was rigorous, designed to prepare them for the responsibilities they would shoulder as adults. Their duty was to the king and to their dharma, their sacred duty. This sense of duty was instilled in them from birth, and it guided their actions throughout their lives. They were expected to be brave, loyal, and just, embodying the ideals of the warrior code. The Kshatriyas were masters of various weapons. They trained with swords, spears, maces, and bows, each weapon requiring a different set of skills and techniques. Their proficiency with these weapons made them formidable opponents on the battlefield. They trained from childhood in the art of war. This training was not just physical, but also mental. They were taught to remain calm under pressure, to think strategically, and to make quick decisions in the heat of battle. This comprehensive training ensured that they were always prepared for any challenge they might face. They wielded swords, spears, and maces with deadly skill. Archery was their forte. The bow was considered the weapon of choice for many Kshatriyas, and they spent countless hours perfecting their aim and technique. The precision and power of their archery were legendary. The twang of their bows and the whistle of their arrows instilled fear in the hearts of their enemies. These sounds were often the harbingers of doom for those who dared to oppose them. The Kshatriyas' prowess with the bow was unmatched, and their enemies knew that facing them in battle was a daunting prospect. Chariots thundered across battlefields, driven by skilled charioteers, carrying warriors into the heart of the enemy ranks. The use of chariots added a new dimension to their combat strategies, allowing them to strike quickly and retreat just as fast. This mobility gave them a significant advantage in battle. Their battles were not just about brute strength. The Kshatriyas understood that intelligence and strategy were just as important as physical prowess. They planned their attacks meticulously, considering every possible outcome and preparing for any eventuality. Strategy played a crucial role. They employed various tactics, such as flanking maneuvers, ambushes, and feigned retreats, to outsmart their enemies. Their ability to adapt to changing circumstances and think on their feet made them exceptional leaders and warriors. They understood the importance of formations, flanking maneuvers, and using the terrain to their advantage. The Kshatriyas were adept at reading the battlefield and using its features to their benefit. Whether it was a dense forest, a river, or a mountain pass, they knew how to turn the terrain into a strategic asset. They fought with honor, adhering to a strict code of conduct. This code dictated not only how they fought, but also how they treated their enemies. They believed in fair play and respected the rules of combat, even when it was to their disadvantage. Even in the heat of battle, there were rules to be followed. The Kshatriyas believed that honor was more important than victory. They would rather lose a battle than compromise their principles. This adherence to a code of ethics set them apart from other warrior classes. They respected their enemies, even in defeat. This respect extended beyond the battlefield. They believed that every warrior, regardless of which side they fought on, deserved to be treated with dignity. This sense of respect and honor was a cornerstone of their identity. The Kshatriyas laid the foundation of India's military traditions. Their contributions to the art of war and their code of conduct influenced generations of warriors. They were not just fighters, but also teachers, passing down their knowledge and values to the next generation. Their legacy continued to influence warfare for centuries to come. The principles and strategies they developed are still studied and respected today. The Kshatriyas were more than just a warrior class. They were the embodiment of courage, honor, and duty, leaving an indelible mark on history. The lion's roar Chandragupta and the Mauryan war machine. The Mauryan Empire, my friends, that's where things got serious. This wasn't just tribes fighting, this was organized chaos. Chandragupta Maurya, a true king of the jungle, united most of the Indian subcontinent under his rule, and he didn't do it by being nice. Chandragupta understood that power grew from the barrel of a gun, or in this case, a sword. He built a massive army, hundreds of thousands strong. They had infantry, cavalry, even war elephants. Imagine those beasts charging into battle, smashing through enemy lines. But muscle wasn't everything. Behind Chandragupta stood his advisor, Chanakya, a master strategist. This guy wrote a book on war, literally. His Arthashastra is still studied today. Chanakya taught the importance of espionage, diplomacy, and good old-fashioned deception. The Mauryans were like a well-oiled war machine. They conquered lands, built roads, and established a powerful empire. They showed the world what it meant to be a force to be reckoned with. Section 4. The Emperor's Conscience, Ashoka, and the Path of Peace. Now, let's talk about Chandragupta's grandson, Ashoka. This guy started as a warrior, even more ruthless than his grandfather. He fought a massive battle in Kalinga, a bloodbath that left over 100,000 dead. The ground ran red with blood. It was a victory, but at what cost? The horrors of Kalinga changed Ashoka. He renounced violence and embraced Buddhism. He realized that true strength lay not in conquering others, but in conquering yourself. But don't think Ashoka went soft. He still maintained a strong army, but he used it for defense, not aggression. He became a champion of peace, spreading the message of non-violence throughout his empire and beyond. He built hospitals, dug wells, and promoted education. He showed that a powerful ruler could be compassionate and just. Ashoka's reign was a turning point. It showed that India's strength came not just from military might, but also from its wisdom and its values. Section 5. Golden Age, Iron Fist, the Guptas, and the Art of War. After the Mauryans came a golden age, the Gupta Empire. This period, often referred to as the Golden Age of India, saw a remarkable flourishing of culture, science, and political stability. The Guptas established a vast empire that stretched across northern and central India, creating a legacy that would influence the subcontinent for centuries to come. These guys were all about art, literature, and science. The Gupta period witnessed the creation of some of the most exquisite sculptures, intricate carvings, and detailed paintings. Literature thrived with the works of great poets and playwrights like Kalidasa, whose plays and poems are still celebrated today. Scientific advancements were also significant, with scholars like Aryabhata making groundbreaking contributions to mathematics and astronomy. But don't let that fool you, they knew how to handle themselves in a scrap. The Guptas were not just patrons of the arts, they were also formidable warriors. Their military prowess was essential in maintaining the stability and security of their empire. The Guptas faced threats from all sides, especially those pesky Huns from Central Asia. These nomadic invaders were relentless, and their incursions posed a significant challenge to the Gupta Empire. The Huns were known for their ferocity and their ability to strike fear into the hearts of their enemies. To defend their borders, they developed new tactics and technologies. The Guptas were innovative in their approach to warfare, constantly adapting to the changing dynamics of battle. They understood the importance of strategy and often employed clever tactics to outmaneuver their enemies. The Guptas were masters of cavalry. Their horsemen were highly skilled and played a crucial role in their military campaigns. The speed and mobility of their cavalry units allowed them to launch swift and decisive attacks, often catching their enemies off guard. Their horsemen, armed with lances and swords, were a force to be reckoned with. These weapons were not only effective in close combat, but also symbolized the martial prowess of the Gupta warriors. The sight of a Gupta cavalry charge was enough to send shivers down the spines of their adversaries. They also developed new types of armor, including chainmail and helmets. This advanced protective gear provided their soldiers with a significant advantage on the battlefield, allowing them to withstand enemy attacks and fight with greater confidence. Their swords were legendary, forged with a special type of steel that made them incredibly strong and sharp. The craftsmanship of Gupta blacksmiths was renowned, and their weapons were highly sought after. These swords were not just tools of war, but also works of art, reflecting the skill and dedication of their makers. But the Guptas' greatest strength was their adaptability. They were quick to learn from their enemies and incorporate new techniques into their own strategies. This ability to evolve and innovate was key to their success in both defense and expansion. They were quick to adopt new technologies and strategies from their enemies. Whether it was new weapon designs or innovative battle formations, the Guptas were always on the lookout for ways to improve their military capabilities. They learned from the best, and then they beat them at their own game. This relentless pursuit of excellence ensured that the Gupta Empire remained a dominant force in the region, capable of defending its borders and expanding its influence. The Guptas ensured that their golden age wasn't just about beautiful things. It was also about protecting those things with a fist of iron. Their commitment to both cultural and military excellence created a legacy that would be remembered for generations, a testament to their skill, wisdom, and strength. If you found this journey through time fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Crazy Color Facts for more cinematic explorations of history. See you in the next adventure.